So-called South Hill rapist Kevin Coe will likely be released from custody tomorrow after experts deem him unlikely to reoffend. What to expect at tomorrow's hearing. Plus, the state of Washington will soon have the highest minimum wage in the nation. Tonight, why some business groups fear it'll be bad for business.
We have another couple rounds of rain in the forecast before we dry out and sunshine returns to the inland northwest.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for the KREM 2 Night Report. I'm Mark Hanrahan. First up tonight, the so-called South Hill rapist Kevin Coe will likely be released tomorrow. Believed responsible for upwards of 40 sexual assaults between the late 70s and early 80s, experts deem him unlikely to reoffend due to health issues. The state of Washington says it does not have proof that Coe, now 78 years old, is a sexual predator any longer and is not fighting his request to be let go during a hearing set for tomorrow morning. The Department of Social and Health Services psychologist and another hired by the Attorney General's office say due to Coe's heart disease, limited mobility, and ongoing mental health issues, he is unlikely to reoffend. While the Attorney General's office is not fighting his release, a spokesperson says Coe will be registered as a sex offender for life and will likely go to an adult group home. Tomorrow we will have special coverage right after the hearing right here on KREM 2+. And now to our night beat with a quick look at today's top stories. New tonight, we now know the names of the two men killed in last week's deadly shooting on the South Hill. 37-year-old Terrence Willett and 20-year-old Emilio Vasquez. Back in 2009, court documents show Willett pled guilty to unlawful imprisonment and possessing sexually explicit photos of a minor after locking the teen away and using a camera to monitor her. After being released, he assaulted a new girlfriend in front of her 9-year-old daughter. Documents show when officers got to the scene, he pulled out a knife. In 2017, an affidavit of fact states that he was shot multiple times by officers after escaping from Providence Holy Family Hospital, stabbing himself multiple times, and then charging at officers with a knife. The most recent homicide is still under investigation. Today, we learned the identity of the man who deputies say shot and killed an Eastern State Hospital employee after going on a crime spree in Medical Lake last weekend. The Spokane County Medical Examiner identified 24-year-old Nathaniel Bunch as the suspected shooter. On the night of the shooting, the Spokane County Sheriff's Office says Bunch started a fire in a field outside a Medical Lake grocery store. Deputies say he later went to a home nearby with a rifle and fired several rounds. Later that night, deputies say Bunch went to Eastern State Hospital and shot and killed a security guard. Today, the medical examiner's office confirms that Bunch died by suicide. Detectives in Coeur d'Alene are investigating who attacked a woman in her bed as she slept, leaving her with life-threatening injuries. Investigators say Susan Stratton's injuries are so bad, doctors moved her into hospice care and plan to treat the case as a homicide. Detectives now asking anyone who may have video near Skyline Drive from early hours on September 18th to share it with them. They believe the suspect traveled on bicycle from the Athol area to Coeur d'Alene between 8:55 p.m. on September 17th to 4:50 a.m. on September 18th. If you have any information, you're asked to call that number right there on your screen. And that's it for your night beat. For more information on any of these stories, just head to our website. That's KREM.com. All right, let's switch gears and talk weather on this Wednesday night with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy the Goo. Jeremy, you're holding the umbrella. We can hear the rain coming down. Man, that seems like it's the heaviest it's rained in quite some time.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Mark, it is coming down out here on the South Hill. Pretty incredible. A decent amount of rain and temperatures are cold. Check this out. See my breath? Yeah, it's that kind of cold. It's a beautiful evening, though. There's our low sitting off the coast. Still throwing a ton of moisture at us, and that is hitting us here. A big band of rain, and Mark's right, some of the heaviest rain we have seen in some time, but that's good news. I really love this. A little bit of rain goes a long way in a pattern as dry as what we've seen. Does look like we dry out overnight and early tomorrow morning. There's a little model indication we get a round of afternoon showers. Those should be light in nature and very sparse. Those move out and it's back to sunshine later this week, so it's hard to believe we go through such a turnaround. Temperatures top out in the low 60s tomorrow, mid to upper 60s Friday and Saturday as sunshine returns, but at that, our overnight lows start to dive.
Sounds good, Jeremy. Get back in here and stay dry. New tonight, starting next year, Washington will have a higher minimum wage than any other state in the country. The Washington State Department of Labor and Industries announcing that minimum wage increase of nearly 3% in 2026. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy joining us in the newsroom tonight with more on what business groups are saying tonight. Connor?
Well, the change means if you're currently earning minimum wage in Washington, you're about to get a raise. Well, that's no doubt welcome news for employees. Nonprofits that help with business development in Spokane fear will ultimately hurt local businesses as they'll be paying their workers a higher minimum wage than any other state in the nation. Starting in 2026, Washington lawmakers will make the state minimum wage $17.13 an hour. The reason? State law requires the Department of Labor and Industries to calculate what the wage should be depending on the rate of inflation. Based on LNI's research, they found a 2.8% increase in minimum wage from $16.66 to $17.13 is necessary. However, the nonprofit Greater Spokane Incorporated says the increase will hurt the near 700 businesses they help serve.
It's the combination of business costs, with labor being a significant piece of that makes it really challenging for small businesses, and really challenging in a time where we need employers to be able to both hire and maintain their workforce.
Alicia Benson's the CEO of GSI. She says the increase negatively affects startups and small businesses, and the timing of the announcement makes it more difficult for owners to adapt.
Getting it only in the beginning of Q4 does not leave businesses, and particularly small businesses, very much time to plan or adjust to whatever the minimum wage increase is going to be.
And even if businesses are able to adjust to the new price for staff, Anthony Antone with the Washington Hospitality Association argues customers may not be able to, saying it'll force the consumer to make some tough decisions.
I say, wait, a family of 3 to eat out is costing me how much this week? Oh my gosh, that's really impacting our family budget. And they're making different decisions, and they're really being price resistant.
He fears it will lead to even tougher, more permanent decisions from business owners statewide.
If it's going to cost this amount, maybe we need to see a reduction of 10 to 15% of the state's restaurants and then redistribute the traffic so we can survive. I'm hoping that we find other answers.
It's a growing concern both Benson and Antone feel will not help the economy, but both will continue voicing their concerns into the new year and new minimum wage. Now, this year, a group of Democratic legislators introduced House Bill 1764, which would make the minimum wage at $25 an hour by 2031. The bill did not advance during the 2025 session, but it could be reintroduced in the new year. Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
All right, Connor, thank you very much. Don't go to bed just yet. This morning, a group of local war veterans flew to Washington, D.C. to see the memorials built in their honor. We'll take you to the airport coming up. But first, with the government shut down, we examine how that impacts people right here in Washington. The details in just 90 seconds.